Farway Marsh was a marsh, but then it wasn't really a marsh. Instead, it became a sleepy Devon grazing field, quietly minding its own business, but with a name that promised far more than it could deliver. Landowner and farmer Tom had always been bothered by that. Where was the water? Where's the biodiversity? We wondered the same. So, together, as a community, we decided it was time to see if we could solve the mystery of the missing marsh. Historically, the marsh was, well, a marsh, a biodiverse, carbon-capturing natural wonder, doing all the quiet, important work that wetlands do best. But somewhere along the way, likely back in Victorian times when it was needed as farmland and we didn't realise how much we needed wetlands, it got drained. Goodbye marsh, hello fields, but hello also to a river channel cut deeper over time, which caused a host of downstream problems, including habitat loss and flooding of course, which causes damage to properties and bridges and washes silt from the land, taking it out to the rivers and sea where it doesn't belong. So we made a plan. Upstream, we'd add woody brash to raise the riverbed, nudging the Kit Brook to spill over into its long-lost floodplain during heavy rains. Scrapes and a restored bank would temporarily hold back water, letting it spread and soak in gently. Downstream, where the channel had cut itself deeper, we got a felling license to hinge trees across the riverbed. Think of it like a beaver-built wetland, but with less chomping. Hinging trees catches debris and holds back water, helping to keep the river clean, which is good news for the plants, fish, insects, and everything in between. Yes, even you, freshwater leech. So, with grants from the Farming in Protected Landscapes programme and the National Lottery Heritage Fund, we got to work. In came the diggers, dump trucks and chainsaws, and we all got our wellies on and started with habitat surveys, learned a lot about rivers and water quality, and generally had a splendid time in the fields, with some sheep as spectators, a lot of mud and a lot of fresh air and fun. Rewarded with pasties and fresh pressed apple juice. We are in Devon after all. Over time, the marsh began to come alive again. Grass and native plants sprouted in the scrapes. The water spread and the intervention started to work exactly as planned. Scrapes filled, water pooled, and the new bank held it all back, gently, effectively, beautifully, easing pressure downstream and letting the land do its work once again. It turns out that with a good plan, a lot of community spirit, and a few well-placed trees, a mystery can be solved. You see, Farway Marsh wasn't lost after all. It was just waiting for us to help it remember how to be a marsh again.